Okay. Hello and welcome, friends. I think we're live. Yeah. Okay. We've got a fire going. Hopefully, you can hear the fire. I don't know. Let me know if you can hear the crackle of the fire. We might have to add more wood to it. But hello and welcome. It is Sunday night. And let's just check YouTube side of things. And yeah, okay, we're good. We're good over on the YouTube side. And yeah, let's we could turn on the fire, turn on the camera and actually look at the bonfire. And hello. Oh, hey, thanks, FKHC. Tim says he can hear us. So that is wicked. Now let's get the camera working here. And then you can not only hear us, you can see. There we go. Hello. Hi. So we've got the fire going. And I want to say hello to Sylvia, your lovely artist. Hello and good evening. It is, it's Sunday evening. So I thought I'd light the fire. And hello, Suzanne. Hi. Good to see you, Suzanne Eckstein. I'll put you up there. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I just decided to light the fire and turn on the camera. Why not, right? And as you can see by the sky, we still have some daylight. We've got another hour and a bit of daylight. So I thought why not light the fire? It's been raining all day, so it's the first chance I've had to actually light the fire. Oh, cheers. Sylvia says, I did a collab with Fet for Hire yesterday. Hey, that's awesome. I love that guy. Fet for Hire is, he's a good friend of this channel for sure. And hello and welcome, Evil Eddie. Welcome. Bonjour, fellow Knucklehead. Yes, indeed. We certainly are Knuckleheads. But anyway, since it is a Sunday, we might as well have an adult beverage here, eh? That is locally known as a bunny beer. That is a Pilsner. And it's Sunday, so why not? Sunday evening. Wow, so we went back to the moon, hey? That's pretty cool. They did a flyby of the moon, and they overflew some of the previous landing sites and took photos of the previous Apollo missions landing sites. And they even have photos of the footprints from the previous mission. So that's pretty cool. The last time we were on the moon was when I was born in 1972, so 54 years ago. Hey, thanks, Evil Eddie. I'm glad you like the outdoor setup here. I've got the bonfire going and the chainsaw in the background here. I've got the axe, so I will be splitting some wood. But let's just have a seat, shall we? In the old camping chair. Oh yeah, that's better. Yeah, this is just in my backyard here. I live in the country, so like I usually go deer hunting right up there. I just take the gun and walk out the door and go up the hill. And I've got a couple of deer right up there, about a kilometer or so. That's I don't know, a little better than half a mile. Oh, lovely. But it's a nice little backyard here. I enjoy it. It's got a decent sized fire pit, and but I'm not too far. I've got a battery system I can run the setup off of here. But if I need anything, the house is pretty close, so not so bad. It's all right. Sometimes I have friends and neighbors drop in, and I've had often them gather around the bonfire. But yeah, I'm cooking actually. I've been cooking over the last day on the wood stove. I've got some venison stew going. It's a noodle barley type soup, I guess. Barley's mushrooms and the neck. I had frozen the neck of the deer And so I pulled out all the bones and some ribs as well. And so it's that. Oh man, is it ever rich? You can see because all the fat goes to the top when it cools down. And man, is that ever a rich? It's more of a soup, I suppose. But yeah, it's that's gonna be good. So I made a bunch of that. I use every part of the animal if I can. The neck, the bones. I make soup out of all the bones. Nothing goes to waste. Um, I mean, the dog, any scrap meat that is shot or anything like that. Obviously, you can't put in the food, but the dogs enjoy some of that sort of thing. And I've got a local friend who uses the hide off the deer and makes leather and things. So uh, every part of the animal goes to use. So no, I enjoy, and it's so nice. I can just go up the hill and get a deer. It's local. This is a pretty good spot. I do enjoy it. Oh, hey, it's John, the Beagle Dad. Hello and welcome to you. Good to see you, John. Excellent. I hope you're having a good Sunday evening. You in Porthos. Um, yeah, I just decided to light up the bonfire and yeah, turn on the camera and see if anyone wanted to hang out. And I did bring the axe, so I will be splitting some wood here pretty quickly. So that's okay. Hello and welcome. The Ice King and Real Plus, Andre Plus, Androphus. That's what that says. It's a little far away, but I can read it. Yeah, good to see you, and thank you for being here. Awesome to have you. Thank you very much, the Ice King Androphus. There is an R and an L in there. Huh. Complicated. I subscribe. Well, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that. And yes, absolutely, Evil Eddie. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and we can all enjoy some more outdoor hangouts. Yeah, um, I will be moving in a couple of months here to Alberta, and I'll be looking for a place that has a fire pit. I mean, once you have this, you kind of get used to it, and just the ability to have a bonfire whenever you want is pretty cool. And also you clean up the hillside, so you take away any potential forest fire fuel. So you're sort of doing a little fire prevention, and yeah, it's not bad to have a fire in the evening now that the rain has stopped. Now I have invited a few people to join. I should split up some wood here pretty quick, but we might have a couple of people join us. We shall see. It depends on how busy they are tonight. I know it's Sunday night. Maybe we'll get some people coming. You never know. But yeah, I thought I didn't know why they named it Artemis. The last this last mission that just landed, going to the moon, and so I learned today that Artemis is the goddess of the moon and Apollo's sister. So Apollo, of course, the goddess of the sun, was the missions back the year I was born in 1972 when they went to the moon. That was the Apollo mission. So it's kind of fitting to have it named Artemis, Apollo's sister and goddess of the moon. Of course, that makes sense. Sylvia says, I know Tony is busy with 3 streams. Really? Did he do 3 streams today? Holy crap on a paddle. Wow. Well, he is busy. Good for him. Hello and welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for being here. No, that's not Vanessa. That's Visage. Oh shit, Visaggio Spanish bird. Yes, sorry. I am far from the monitor, so it's kind of hard to read. My apologies. Shit, it's not Vanessa. I'm sorry. You are definitely not Vanessa. Sorry, Visaggio. Shit, the Spanish bird. Welcome. Yeah. We got lots of stuff to burn here, and I got some wood to split up too. Uh, he texts me on Discord, says Sylvia. Oh, okay. Tony did. Yeah, good. Excellent. We are finally getting mudding roads and walkways here in Saskatchewan. Well, Suzanne, is that mudding roads? Is that a good thing to have mud on your roads and walkways? I guess it's better than ice. Absolutely, it's better than ice. Yeah, it's nice to have clear roadways. I went jogging just the other day, as a matter of fact. Hello, Husk. Good to see you, and welcome. Welcome to the bonfire. We're just burning some stuff tonight. That's all. We're just burning a few things, um, and sitting around enjoying a beverage on a Sunday evening. So that is pretty cool that the latest moon mission did a flyby of some of the sites that we've previously landed on, and we're able to capture real time the photos of all the, well, basically garbage that we've left on the moon from our previous missions, and absolutely verified that those indeed happened. Got photos of the footprints that were left by the astronauts that actually landed on the moon. And so yeah, that is such a cool thing to draw attention back to space. You know, I would like to think that I will see a manned mission to Mars in my lifetime, right? I mean, I'm only 54, so 53. Fuck, I'm not even 54 yet. That's not for another couple weeks. Um, so yeah, certainly. I look forward to seeing a manned mission to Mars. Why the hell not? Now, I personally don't want to go to Mars. Uh, I'll go scuba diving in caves and stuff, but going to another planet is a whole different level that I'm not willing to do. Oh shit, no. But I look forward to actually watching them do it. I think mankind can absolutely achieve that. Absolutely. Ah, we hope you are well, Suzanne Eckstein. Says Old Man Bird. Hello and welcome, Old Man Bird. Thank you for being here. Great to see you. I just decided to light the fire and turn on the camera, Old Man Bird. So, hello, legendary traveler. Oh, I do like to travel. Yeah, gonna need to do some work here. I'm gonna have to get a job next month and actually work so I can afford to travel. But that is the plan. Absolutely, sir. Yes, bonfire. Hell yeah, says Sassy. Hi, Sassy. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. Good to have you here. And Suzanne Eckstein is saying hello. What up, Old Man Bird, says Sassy. Yeah, no, wow. Where I'd like to travel next. I mean, Russia and Ukraine, oddly enough, were on my list. I actually made a map and a plan and even posted it. I did want to go to Russia and Ukraine and Turkey, as a matter of fact, in 2020. But then the COVID happened, and so that didn't take place, sadly. But yeah, I mean, and I don't want to go to Russia and Ukraine now because I will probably get abducted and find myself with a rifle in my hands. So I definitely don't want that. But I don't know. I'm thinking Egypt would be nice. Greece. I've never been to Greece, and I know our friend Greek Letters, who often appears in our chats. He says Greece is a little chaotic now, but I'd still like to go see it. Nevertheless, and of course Norway, Iceland, Sweden, Finland, Denmark. Those are high on the list as well, but they're cold, so that's not a good thing. I don't like the cold, and also their currencies are much stronger than the Canadian dollar. Right now, the Canadian dollar is not doing so well, to put it mildly. We are not doing well at all. I think we're 70 cents or below 70 cents to the US dollar. So traveling to the Scandinavian countries is financially, yeah, it's prohibitive. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon. However, Greece is reasonable as far as money goes. And I think Turkey as well, perhaps. Although, I don't want to get too close to Iran and Iraq, and Egypt. I'd love to go see Egypt right now. Well, I don't know if right now would be a good idea. Again, that's a little closer to Iran and Iraq. than perhaps you'd want to be. But I do want to. I mean, Egypt is high on the list, and Greece, both of them. So I love archaeology, and I love those old buildings. And I've been to Machu Picchu. I've been to Angkor Wat. I've been to Italy. I've been to the Colosseum. I've been to some of the big ones, and I think the last on the list of the really big ones are Egypt and Greece. So yeah, who knows? And who knows? But we might be locked down again for who knows what reason. Fuel crisis, another pandemic of whatever sorts. I mean, our government can do whatever they want, as they've proven, without repercussion. So, I why put off later and what you can do now? That's always been my go-to. So why not go to Egypt and Greece? The next spots I go, I think will be Egypt and Greece. I think I'll have to save up money. Might be 6 months, might be 8 months. It would be nice to spend like February in a warmer climate like southern Greece, or Egypt. They've got to be warmer than here in February, no question. Okay, well, I have sent out the link, and we'll see if anyone joins. But in the meantime, you're stuck with me. And oh, hey, I do want to say hello. Uh, Hello, Stark Vox. Good to see you. Is that what that? Oh shit, Stark Void. That's not. Yeah, that's not Vox at all. That's Stark Void. Hello and welcome to you. What up, Stark Void? Says Sassy. And Old Man Bird is saying hello to people. Again, I am far away from the monitor, so I apologize. It is a little bit difficult to read. And the lovely Boa Hancock, hello and welcome to you. Thanks for being here. I want to go to Canada, says the Ice King. Well, it is cheap. Our dollar's not doing so well, although it's expensive. In Canadian currency, prices are expensive, but if you have American dollars, it's cheap for anyone traveling with American currency, such as lemon pie. Hello, welcome, lemon pie. Don't get too close to the fire. No, I'm a good 3 feet from it now. I'm 2 arms lengths from it now. Although it is throwing off some nice heat. That is some good wood. I've had a friend who had some apple wood, so that's actually fruit wood that we're burning right now. And although it doesn't smell any different, but it burns quite hot. Fruit wood is a hardwood, like anything from an apple tree or a pear tree that we have, or cherry trees. We have lots of those around here, or plum trees. That wood is a hardwood, and it burns hot, and usually burns. It has longevity. It burns quite a while, so it's nice. It's good burning wood, very good burning wood. Oh, and the sun is just going down over there. You can no, you can't see it on this hill. So, well, yeah, a little bit up there. You can maybe see a little bit of the sunset hitting the trees up there. It's been what a rainy day. It's so nice to have the rain stop finally this evening. It's about time. Hello, Canadian Cat. Hi. I want to say hello and welcome to you, Canadian Cat. Thanks for being here. And Lemon Pie says that warning was for the chat. Hey, fruitcakes, don't get too close to the fire. Okay, right. Yeah, the chat. Yeah. No, I'm an expert when it comes to fire, right? After all the bonfires I've done here and all the streaming, I have yet to go into the fire. You've seen fire hit the laptop a few times, and we shot the laptop with some fireworks a few times, but we haven't actually seen me go into the fire. I've hit my head on the rocks around the fire, but again, I didn't go into the fire. So that's something that we've avoided, which is good. But yeah, we'll see who wants to pop on the panel here. I know Anti-Derivative Jill had a stream last night with Istophobes, and I know PvP was there, and that was a heck of a chat. They were talking about Artemis there. And I think it was that who I think that's where I heard that's where I learned I think that Artemis was the I think it might have been Istophobes that was saying it or Jill uh, that Artemis is the sister of Apollo, which makes sense that this mission would be called Artemis, of course. Especially seeing in how she is the goddess of the moon. It's especially yeah, and apparently we have some wicked pictures of the far side of the moon that is pretty fascinating. That's not Voodoo Ranger, I don't think. No lemon pie. I wish we had Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium Brewery out of the States. That is an excellent brew. I've toured their brewery. No, this is a Pilsner, my friend. This is a Pilsner, a bunny beer, and it's made right in Chilliwack from Molson. What do you know? Chilliwack. Isn't that an awesome name of a town? If your town's name is Chilliwack, that's just sounds pretty cool, I thought. And it's also the name of a band, a Canadian band. Not by coincidence, they're from Chilliwack, and they have a couple of like one-hit wonders, one or two, maybe two. Yeah, they had a couple of pretty big hits back in the '80s. I can't remember the names of them right now, but Chilliwack did have at least one huge song. Yeah, so fire hit the laptop. Yeah, fire has hit the laptop a few times. Sparks have come out. I burned the crap out of my other microphone. This one is so far so good. No damage to this one, but the other one, yeah, the other one took a lot of fire. Sparks mainly, ash and sparks. The keyboard doesn't like ash. I know that much. And the heat actually, this monitor damn near got melted by the heat. It was so intense. We were burning a lot of bark, and yeah, things got a little out of control. Who exactly did you invite? Says Sylvia. Well, I dropped the link in. Jill has a chat group on X that there's a few of us hang out on X in her chat, and so I dropped the link there. And so you never know who'll show up. Sometimes Scotty pops in from there because I know Tony is busy definitely with 3 shows. That is crazy. He's working his butt off, no doubt. Oh yeah, no kidding. And the Ice King says, "Who is this Tony fellow?" Tony is Stark of Iron. Tony Stark of Iron. His channel is Stark of Iron, and he does a variety show. He streams like every day, sometimes 2 times a day or more, and he does a lot of characters. I don't know how many characters he's got in his repertoire now, but it's an entertainment variety show with it, and he does all kinds of. He has guests on sometimes as well, but he does a variety show of at least. I gotta say, he has 10 characters by now. So yeah, his head is full of full of personalities, shall we say? Hi, DJ Play Nice. Welcome. Says Rock Canadian Spider-Man, and thanks for hosting. Yeah, well, I just decided to burn some stuff. The rain has stopped. And up and share out the live. Yes, thank you, DJ Play Nice. And yes, DJ. Yes, okay, you knew it too. Chilliwack is the name of a band. Absolutely. T Stark CEO is who he is, says Sylvia. Well, now you should check out Tony if you like. He does an excellent Rick and Morty impersonation. He does those characters. He's got his own characters as well. He's got to be at least 10 by now. Make sure that your subscription is active and your alert bell is set to. Oh, well, thank you, DJ Play Nice. Hey, I appreciate that. That's right, because often I'll have a fire just like tonight, and it won't be planned, and I'll just turn on the camera and we'll burn some stuff. And hello, I want to welcome you, Gap After Dark. Thanks for being here. Very good to see you, my friend. Yes, thank you, DJ Play Nice. Says, y'all, now's a good time to share out the show. Thank you. Send it to a friend or post a bump on your own YouTube channel in the community tab. I've started doing that now, and it's quite easy to do. Yeah, as a matter of fact, DJ, I've started doing that for Doomcock and for Comic Relief Crusader. and for, of course, Anti-Derivative Jill, that 70s show. Yep, trying to. Tony as well. Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much for putting that in there, Sylvia. That is Tony's link to his YouTube channel. Please do check out Tony. If you like variety shows, you're not going to do much better than at our local in our local community right here. We've got a bunch of talented YouTubers. I mean, just talking about Jill and Tony, and of course Doomcock. I wish I could have Doomcock on this show more, but he's busy as heck. But he has come on. He has come on this channel a couple of times. But I'd love to sit around a fire and pick his brain on a bunch of different things. I bet you we could get Doomcock talking about the moon. Because I know he likes sci-fi and space and all kinds of things like that, and I bet you he'd like to talk about the moon. I'd have him right around the bonfire here, and we'd just jaw about the moon. That'd be fun. And everyone saying hello to everyone. Thanks for being here, folks. Yeah, appreciate it. It's just a Sunday evening, and I thought we'd burn some stuff. Some of us call your new bike the golden schlong. It is golden. And it is phallic. That's yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, old man bird. Yeah, that is true. And yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Lemon Pie put Tony's link in there as well. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. Thanks, Sylvia. Oh yes, absolutely. Sylvia has put her link in there too as well. Sylvia, I know you're up over 120 subscribers now, aren't you? That's fantastic. Good for you. That is fantastic. Love to be one of his moderators. Oh, Doomcox, yeah, it's a commitment, I tell you. I wasn't there this Friday because I was over at my brother's having a get together over at my family's house there. But I mean, Friday nights you're gonna moderate for 5-6+ hours, and then Wednesdays another 3 hours. So you're talking a 10-hour a week commitment, but it's a hell of a group. I mean, we've got some of the best chat and the best moderators. And hopefully it continues that way. We've had a little bit of a change over the years. We've had a few come and go, but we've got a solid group, and the chat is the best part about the Doomcock stream. That's for sure. There we go. Speaking of Mr. Doomcock, there we go. Beautiful ring right there that Gary Ambrosia made for Doomcock. Had Gary make them for his wrenches as a thank you 1 year. So I thought that was pretty special. And I know we all treasure them quite a bit. And he sent along with this ring. I don't wear it often because I want to keep it. But I've got a Harvey Cthulhu ring as well, and it's in red. It's in this one glows in the dark. The Harvey Cthulhu ring does not glow in the dark, but it's still like a ruby red, and that's pretty cool. Oh, hey, the real Neuromancer. Thank you for being here. He says Tony is a variety show, yeah, but entertaining sometimes, maybe not really. Well, I mean, to each their own. Absolutely. I modded for my NASA creators channel. What a bunch of jerks in the chat, said John the Beagle Dad. Oh, that's too bad. See, if you have the right chat, that really makes a channel, and I've met so many good people in Doomcock's chat, Porthos growing at 206 subscribers, says John the Beagle Dad. Well, if you have a beagle that doesn't mind being on the camera, I mean, that is awesome. You're going to get people just following you just to see the poochie. Of course, I'd spend hours watching a dog. Of course, I have spent hours watching dogs and cats. Absolutely. 100%. 137, Sylvia. That's wicked. Okay, I knew you were up over 125. That's fantastic. Nice going, Sylvia. John the Beagle Dad says Canadian Spider-Man. They were flat earthers and nothing but anti-moon landing. You know, I gotta say, I think it would not surprise me to find John the Beagle Dad that China might be, encouraging, shall we say, some of this nonsense to sort of undermine America's achievements. If you understand, um, the whole idea that America couldn't get to the moon and hasn't been to the moon. I mean, of course, China would want to undermine that, and if any one country in this world other than America has their fingers out in the world around the internet, trying to use the internet to influence people, it's China for sure. So it wouldn't surprise me if they are promoting uh, the non-belief of going to the moon. But I mean, that's so ridiculous. Flat earthers still can't explain why every eclipse is completely spherical. When the Earth casts our shadow on the moon. No, and I've seen it in Europe. I've seen eclipses in Australia. I've seen them on all the hemispheres. It's always perfectly spherical or circular. Well, there's only one shape that does that, and the reason why it's not an ellipse is because we're not flat. That's all right. That right there, that argument right there. I mean, they can't overcome that. That shoots it right out of the water. But don't be so silly. No, and it would be so hard to fake what they just did with this Artemis mission. I mean, it'd be if they had faked no, it would be blown wide open. There's independent observers all over on and non-friendly countries of America too, mind you. I wouldn't call India exactly friendly to America, and they have their own independent witnesses of this mission. So no, that's just preposterous. It's just more people people like being dumb. Humans really get a kick out of doing and saying stupid things is all I can chalk it up to. And plus, no doubt China would want to undermine anything that America achieved or claimed to achieve, of course, John. Yeah, so there we go. And the fact, so this mission, we went back and actually have photos now of the original garbage or pollution, I guess you could call it, that we've left on the moon from previous missions. You can see the footprints. They've got images of that. And yeah, it's proved. I mean, it's proved everything beyond the shadow of a doubt. Not like we had any doubt before. Oh yeah. Porthos is a ham. Oh, he likes the camera. Well, that's excellent. Well, good. That's excellent to hear, John. Yeah, trolls are gonna troll. Exactly, DJ Play Nice. They will. Yeah. Oh, Fed for Hires channel. Thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, Fed for Hire is a big friend of the channel. Yeah, love that guy. Spidey is at 622 without any trying. Pure charisma, says Old Man Bird. Well, thank you so much for that. It's been 4 years, so if I had more charisma, we'd be well above that by now. But that's okay. I don't mind. I'm not. I'm not after numbers. It's more about the quality than the quantity, isn't it? Exactly, DJ. I bounced 20 of them, DJ Play Nice, says John the Beagle Dad. There were like over 1,000 people in the chat at one time. Wow. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, yes. And thank you, Sylvia. There's Anti-Derivative Jill's channel there for you folks. And I think I'm going to split some wood here because we can make this fire a little bigger. Just a second, Sylvia. I'll subscribe, says John the Beagle Dad. Well, absolutely. Go subscribe to Sylvia, John, 100%. She appreciates the support. No surprise. I'm already subscribed, says John. Ah, awesome. Well, yeah. I did see the launch in front of the house, said John the Beagle Dad. Oh, wicked. Wait a minute. That's right. You mean you stepped out into your yard and saw the launch? Holy crap. That's amazing. What up, sir? Says Vortex. Hello, Vortex. Vox Tech. Sorry, not Vortex. Vox Tech. Hello, Vox Tech. Welcome and thanks for being here. Yeah, we're just every other planet in in our system is a sphere, yet Earth is not. Okay, says Evil Eddie. Well, exactly. I mean, they like attention. I think that's it. Yes, welcome to Vox Tech. I don't know why I said Vortex. I think I was thinking of an engine. I like the Vortex engine, I suppose. Everything that follows the question in YouTube address is extraneous. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the rocket appeared for 5 minutes and then disappeared. That is so cool, John the Beagle Dad. That is awesome. I wouldn't call hallowed ground garbage. Chocolate. Oh, well, no. The relics. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, humans do like to leave pollution and garbage wherever we go. I mean, I hike the Himalayas, you can see it there. But no, I didn't mean disrespect to the the relics that we've left on the surface of the moon. I guess, yeah, that any one of which would be the highlight of pretty much any museum on Earth. That is true. But yeah, I meant garbage in a playful way, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna chop some wood here and get this fire going here. I guess I can click a button for y'all. LOL says Evil Eddie. Well, thank you, Evil Eddie. I appreciate that very much. I'm on a stream with 3 others on Fridays that has 3 to 4,000 in it, says DJ Plant Ice in the chat. It's a chore to mod for sure. Absolutely. Doomcock sometimes has 1,000 in his chats, and when the sex bots were active back in the day, and some of the bots, it was quite a chore. You said it. 3 to 4,000. Holy shit, DJ Plant Ice. That's pretty amazing. That is fantastic. That's a big stream. That's nerdrotic levels. Yes, I have a video of it because one of the neighbors sent it to me, says John the Beagle Dad. Well, that's awesome. I'd love to go on a salvage mission going to the moon. Absolutely, John. And we'd take those relics and put them in the museum. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna put on some more wood on this here. Just a second, chat. We'll see if we can get it snapping and you can hear it. Oh wow, it's pretty wet. Okay, will do, buddy. All right, thanks. Awesome. Okay, great, thanks. Okay, folks. All right. That was just a phone call from our good friend, the Comic Relief Crusader. And hey, Skeletor, welcome. Hey, Skeletor. And I see Molecular Arts is here in the chat. Thank you for being here. Fire good, says Evil Eddie. Oh, yeah, no, that's a fire. Isn't that better? That's better, right? So Comic Relief Crusader just got off the phone, and he says I should send him a link, and he will join us. So let's do that right now. Let's copy that and sending it to you right now. Comic Relief Crusader, where are ya? Where are ya? He's there somewhere. And he said he would be happy to join. So that's excellent. And I know Rod Thunderheart often pops in. He's got the keys to help himself in anytime he wants. So he might also join. Where are you? There you are, right there, Comic Relief Crusader. So there is your link and sent. So you can, yeah, if you have a chance, please go ahead and join. Oh, there, Mike. And hey, there's Sashi. Hi, Sashi. Sashi says, I see you have the Iron Spider-Man logo on your hoodie. I do indeed. I have 3 Spider-Man hoodies. I think I often wear the classic blue, the classic pattern of the lighter blue and red, but this is the Iron Spider. Yeah. And I've got another one that's sort of just like I guess it's like well, it mostly has webbing on it, and it's sort of a combination of the old color red with some black, and that's a pretty. So yeah, I've got 3 of the hoodies, and once I get working again, I'll probably get a 4th. You never know. So welcome, Sashi, says Old Man Bird. Yeah, no, we got a fire going there now. Can you see that? Looks like a great evening, says Ron Wayne Official. Hello and welcome, Ron Wayne Official. Molecular Arts. Hey, Molecular Arts, all the way from Tasmania, joining us tonight. Can you see this from your house? It's pretty big. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's about a meter. It's at least a meter across, anyway. Well, yeah, no, that'll be great to have Mike, the Comic Relief Crusader, join us once he gets set up. Sylvia, yeah, no, this is a heck of a nice fire we got going here. I can hear. I'm about 4 feet away from it now, and I can feel it quite nicely. It's a good fire. Yeah, indeed. And yay, comic, absolutely, Sylvia. He will be joining us shortly. So Molecular Arts says winter has arrived early in Hobart. Snow on Mount Wellington? No way. Dang. Yeah, I suppose, eh? Well, I remember climbing the walls of Jericho in February, which is obviously summer in Tasmania. And I had on a toque and a hoodie, and I was still cold. I had a windbreaker on, and even though it was February in Tasmania, middle of summer, no, it was cold up. There was some elevation there at the walls of Jerusalem. Well, the walls of Jerusalem, yeah, not Jericho. Walls of Jerusalem. Yeah, that was quite a nice hike, actually. And Hobart's even farther south, so yeah. Molecular Arts, the man with the happy marriage and brains, says Old Man Bird. Indeed. Now that is a fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with this fire, Skeletor. That's okay. This wood is nice and dry. We got some flame coming on here now. Very good to see you all. And oh yeah, Evil Eddie says, "Old Man Bird, thanks, will do. Seems like a great group of peeps here. I really love the outdoors and the fire setup. Such a change from all the computer uh, desk streams. Yeah, no kidding. It's not hard to set up my stuff here. I can go totally battery operated anywhere for up to probably 2 days. I think I've got enough battery power to go for 2 days if I had to. But yeah, and the campfire. I mean, that's most of what we do where I live here in the North Okanagan, just in the countryside outside of Vernon. This is what we do a lot of the time is to try and mitigate the forest fire potential. So you'd be surprised how much debris falls from a forest, like a treed area, in your area or on public land, and all that debris just becomes fuel in a forest fire. So if we can burn it in a controlled fashion in our fire pits, why not do it? It's good to have a fire, and it mitigates the damage again. Yeah, so why not? Yeah, snow at top of Mount Wellington. That's funny, Molecular Arts, because we have at the very top of our ridges here, we still have some snow up there, and the creeks are going to start getting bigger, and the creeks are definitely going to start to get a little swollen with the melting snow. So yeah, I can see it all the way from Asia. CSM says Sashi. I thought it was a pretty good size. I was hoping you'd say that. A lot of infrared to soak up. No kidding, Old Man Bird. Yeah. There's a shit ton of infrared coming from here. Let's see if that's Mike, and he's sending us messages. And yeah, since it is a Sunday, it's still the weekend chat. Cheers. Okay. Well, that's even better news. That was our friend in the chat here, DJ Play Nice, and he said that if he has a link, he could also join us. So that would be wonderful. My stomach hurts and I just ate, says Sylvia. Oh well. We won't make. No one makes Sylvia laugh. Okay, no one makes Sylvia laugh. Her stomach hurts. We don't want that. We don't want anyone bullying or making Sylvia laugh. I lived in Whistler for a few years and miss having a fire almost every night, says Evil Eddie. Well, Evil Eddie, do you know? I may have mentioned then that I lived in Whistler for 20 years, on and off, from 1998 to 2016. I lived in Whistler on and off. I mean, I spent a couple of years in Australia during that time, and I was in Japan for a couple of years during that time. But my home base was always Whistler. Yeah, I loved it being up there. I was in Creekside quite a bit, working down at the hotels in Creekside there. And although Tapley's Pub, if you're talking in the village, yeah, Tapley's Pub would be one spot you'd find us, or Black's Pub also. The Cinnamon Bear occasionally, if we felt fancy, we'd go to the Delta and go to the Cinnamon Bear. So yeah, I enjoyed Whistler, but it's too crowded now for my tastes. We hope that food get processed quickly, Sylvia. Indeed. Yeah, hopefully you can join us. Or hopefully you can stay with us, I mean, and not have an upset stomach ruin your night, hopefully. Now let's just see. DJ Play Nice, I shall send you a link if you You probably have it through Jill's, but I'll make sure you have it anyway, DJ Play Nice, just to make sure. You can join us without any issues. That would be fantastic. Oh, of course, I can always drop the. You know what? I can also drop the link in the chat if I needed to as well. Old Man Bird, no way. He does look kind of familiar. I worked at Whistler, Happy Pets. Whistler Happy Pets, no kidding. I did not. That was, I spent more of my time in pubs in Whistler. Hotels and pubs, pretty much. Happy Pets. Wait a minute. Is that Happy Pets? Was that in Creekside? Was that in Creekside in the plaza? Because I was with Legends Hotel and Lodging Ovations, and we did the maintenance for all of the plaza in Creekside. So we were all over Creekside. Somehow we became fucking responsible for everything in Creekside. Yeah, that was I enjoyed Whistler back in the day. That was a good time. Evil Eddie says, I was in Whistler 2012 to 2015, lived in Creekside for a bit. Too cool. Oh, dude. Okay. Well, shit, yeah. 2012 to 2015, I was working at Legends Hotel, assistant chief engineer at Legends Hotel there, running the maintenance department for the hotels down, all the hotels down there. We were sort of run out of Legends, but we did Evolution, First Tracks, and as well as all the shopping plaza there in Creekside. We were responsible, and the parking garage there, we were responsible for all of that stuff. It was a good job, though. It was a good gig. And living in Whistler K at the time. I was up in the K, and then down at and at the last 2 years in 2015, I think I was in Bayshores. Hello and welcome. Hey, hello.
What's up, dude?
Hi. Good to have you.
Good to be here again.
Hey, we got a fire going.
Nice. Always happy to have a fireside chat.
Well, I know, right? It was raining all day, Mike. It was raining all day, and I wanted to have a fire this afternoon, and finally it cleared up, just around supper time. So I thought I'll just light the fire and see what happens.
Yeah, it was snowing here this morning,
and I heard.
Yeah, the thick wet snow, and then sun was around 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock-ish. It kind of stopped.
Hi, Jill.
Hi.
She says, I am busy, but I'll check back later if you're still going. Absolutely, Jill. I'm sorry I missed your stream last night, Jill. I watched it a few hours ago, and she had a good stream talking a lot about the Artemis project with Istophobes. And I didn't know that Artemis was the goddess of the moon and sister to Juno. Or sorry, not Juno, Apollo. Which makes sense because you and I were just wee infant babies for the Apollo missions, were we not?
Oh, yeah. Funny thing, Artemis also killed Apollo.
Oh, dear.
So I was wondering, if something kind of naughty was going to happen to the astronauts.
Okay. Whistler Happy Pets was in Function Junction. Okay. I was in Function Junction at the hardware store, the home hardware there, Evil Eddie. Because the hotels, we needed to get parts and all kinds of maintenance things. So I was in Function Junction at that home hardware. I knew Lance in there. He was one of the managers in there. And I was in there almost every day, buddy. So Evil Eddie, if you were in Whistler 2012 to 2015, especially if you were in Creekside, we were also responsible for Dusty's restaurant next door to Legends Hotel. So if you were in Dusty's, or we definitely we would have seen each other. So that's cool. Someone that lived in Whistler at the same time I did, Mike, and you and I growing up in New Brunswick. Now, were you in New Brunswick when the Apollo missions were going on in 72?
Believe it or not, I was in Ontario. I was in
Oh,
Barrie,
dear God.
Ontario. Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. I'm sorry too.
Oh, DJ Play Nice. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Yeah,
You know
I
what?
will.
Today I didn't bother doing my huge circle show.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was getting signatures.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
Okay, I wasn't
yeah.
sure if it was. I didn't want to ask about your dad. I didn't want to go there.
No, actually, I got word on my dad. Actually, while I was
Okay.
getting signatures, and he's doing a lot better. And because my mom
Okay.
messaged me
Good.
while I was sitting in a place for like 6 hours, basically.
Okay. Good. Good.
And
Okay.
yeah, no, his infection went down. And let me read it verbatim. The wounds are much better, but the treatment has to continue for a while longer. But Dad is doing well, and he had a shower and walked to his room in the hospital today. So that's good.
Okay. And he's
Yeah.
completely out of danger.
So far, so good. Yeah, I'd like
Oh,
to say yes.
okay. So
Yeah.
we can start. We can commence making jokes now and so forth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
But
So
damn,
yeah.
dude.
I'm
Oh,
glad.
sorry.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah,
Because
thanks,
well,
man. No,
no, but
appreciate it.
we're the same age, and our parents are probably similar ages, and they
Yeah.
are old enough now that if anything happens, I'm concerned. You know,
Well, yeah, no, of course, man.
especially with the healthcare system in Canada. Jesus Christ!
Oh, the way it is in New Brunswick alone is
I
just
know, right?
worse. Dude. Oh my god.
I'm going to turn on the lights here. Do you mind while I turn on the lights? Do you mind reading this from Sashi if you can, Mike?
I can. Of course I can, because I know how to read. Sashi 4440 says, I feel better now after seeing the Artemis mission. If NASA can't figure out Microsoft, I'm in good company. And that's true. So, because here's the weird thing. If they actually sent man to the moon back in, what was it, 68, and it had just as much power like a toaster oven, then if they can't figure out by now how to get to the moon and back with today's technology, something very weird is going on. So they better be in good company if NASA can't figure out Microsoft at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they had more. We have more computer power in our watches than they did for those first space missions. They were still using slide rules, according to Anti-Derivative Jill on her stream this morning.
Yep, true. So, oh, but dude, I'm going to tell you, while I was at Irvine's Tack and Trailer, which is Canada's biggest Western store, and it's like about maybe 10-15 minutes away from
Sorry,
where I
Mike.
live. No,
Sorry,
cool.
Mike. Can you repeat that? Canada's biggest Western store?
Yeah, Irvine's, which is like about maybe 15 minutes away from where I drive around Carstairs, right? And we were set up there, table and everything like that. And I mean, we have people coming in from like Saskatchewan. We even had a couple of people from Texas come in there, and all over. Oh, and Rancor Steve says hi. We had a couple of people from Switzerland, from Sweden come in there, and oh yeah, it's like, you know, really, really super famous. But you wouldn't believe some of the nastiest people that came in and told us where to go and how to get there. And hello, Cam. And now for some odd reason I can't hear you. So while Canadian Spider-Man is figuring out his mic and wondering why I can't hear him, Cam says, hey, Cam. And Cam says, hello, everyone. I think your mic's disconnected, dude. Because I can't even hear the fire. No, I still can't hear you. So while Spotty's trying to get his mic hooked up, I'm gonna
Hi, hello.
Oh, there we go.
Hi,
Okay.
Mike. No, we're right here. This my buddy Big Isaac just joined us.
Oh,
So he's
okay.
around the fire as well.
Yo, dude.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Yeah.
A bunch of work.
Nice.
Yeah, you work through the week and then you come home on the weekends to do more work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drinking is work, so I agree.
Yeah, it's good times.
But yeah, actually, Comic Relief Crusader, you're doing work with chainsaws, is that right? That's
Oh yeah,
fun.
doing the whole arborist thing. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, and you know what? We have
Yeah.
someone to add to our panel. It's our friend DJ Play Nice. Hello, DJ Play Nice.
DJ.
Rock, how you fellas doing tonight?
Not too
Hey,
shabby,
dude,
dude.
excellent. Good to thank you for joining.
Right on, man. Glad to be here. And watching the sun setting low as it goes through this fire has been a trip. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, no, it's just that the sky is still a little bit blue. And hello, Rusty Rivers. I want to say hello to you. Yeah, no, the sky is still a little blue up there, as you can see. And yeah, I'm gonna stand up because yeah, it's too hard on the knees. But
Yeah, especially
yeah,
in our old
how's-
age.
now, can you hear the fire now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. DJ, what have you been up to? Now, has it been raining where you are?
Yeah, a little bit of that. I'm in the central United States, and we've had a couple of days with solid soaking rains and a couple of days to dry out. The temperatures fluctuate in spring as it does around many parts of the country, 30 and 40 degrees a day. And
Nice.
just last week, we hit like a nearly 80-degree day and had like brushed against freezing during the overnight. And so the 80 or so that it was in Omaha today was balmy and absolutely summer-like, I gotta say.
Wow, that's t-shirt weather.
You just made that sound very sexy.
80 degrees.
Never considered being a weatherman. I'm a little past the prime for any kind of general sexiness, though, man.
I could listen to you do the weather all day now.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. If you could give me the weather in the morning, that'd be great, DJ.
Right on.
It's like, damn, he's like the new Barry White.
Well, in my first radio jobs, one of the things that I really enjoyed was taking things from news feeds and editing them out, because any premonition that I would end up in radio began when I was in high school. They have speech is what it's called in Iowa, where I went to high school, but you can compete in individual categories that include radio announcing, and it was radio news. That's what the category was called back in my day. And they gave you a folder full of stuff, and you had to clip, edit, and present with like an hour. And
Nice.
I got pretty good at that. And so the first station that I worked at was non-commercial. It was a pirate radio station in Omaha. And I used to go so far above and way beyond what the program director and general manager ever wanted me to do when it came to news reporting and the weather in general. And back in those days, I also delivered everything in that kind of ultra cheese, ultra compressed style that I thought was what I should be doing, instead of trying to find eventually what you have now, which is my own voice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh my
Good
God, I
times.
did that too. Oh, it was so much fun. Yeah.
So you had a snowstorm today, Mike, in Calgary area?
Well, I wouldn't say it's exactly a snowstorm. It was more like a gentle sprinkling of snow. It wasn't exactly light, but it wasn't too heavy. But it was like the hard kind of compacty type of snow, right?
Well, did you have to shovel anything is the question.
No, I had to shovel nothing.
Oh, that's good.
So it was just glorious. But while we were at this shop, and it's in the country, right? But it's huge, man. It is so huge. we were sitting at a table, we had our forms out, and everybody that walked in, we asked, hey, would you like a chance to sign the petition for Alberta sovereignty, basically. And one guy, oh my God, he got so unbelievably irate. Just at the snap of a finger, he immediately told us where to go and how to get there. And oh, you guys are just a bunch of nutbags. If you hate it so much being here, why don't you just pack up your bags, pack up your suitcases, and head south for the border and never come back again? All you troublemakers trying to separate from the rest of Canada, you're the reason why this is destroying the nation. And I said, oh, but it's okay for Quebec to do it. And after that, he just kind of shut up and walked away, but he just kept on grumbling, right?
Doesn't Quebec have over a dozen sitting members of parliament in our federal government that are getting paid by Canadian taxpayers right now?
Yes, they do. It was hilarious. Oh, and then another Saskatchewan couple came in, and you knew that these guys weren't farmers or raised cattle or anything like that, because the wife was technically speaking in tight black leather. I kid you not. And the husband, it was kind of like on the Flintstones, where you would see the big woman and the small kind of wiry kind of guy.
Oh yeah, those exist in real life, buddy.
They do. And this was one of those cases. And so, again, we politely asked them, and she was like, no, we're for saving Canada. It's okay, fine, whatever. You have a nice day. And just kept on going about her business.
But that Canada that they're romantic about no longer exists. And
exactly.
The only Alberta is the closest thing to it that still exists. And you're trying to save it before Canada
save
pulls
a piece of it
down.
Exactly. We're just trying to save a piece of it. That's it. Of what essentially Canada used to be.
Hell yeah, Cam. Absolutely, buddy. I will absolutely drop you a link. Yeah. Is it okay? Do you guys mind if Cam joins?
No, I'm good.
He hasn't
Love
started.
to see him.
He's not that much of a troublemaker anymore.
Do it, Cam.
Mike, while you were talking about that, there are so many similarities to my experience here in the States with exactly those kind of personalities. And when I've tried to give them their due, listen with as little prejudice as possible.
Yep.
You can't unpack three or how many generations behind them instilled in them the belief systems that carry through that, and getting someone to stop in mid-course of something that is as polarizing as that can be and listen to reason and sound arguments. It's so nigh on impossible that I've kind of given up on that kind of thing these days. Every once in a while, if situation dictates, or I think the person is really close to understanding the limitations of their own thoughts, or I mine, that's when I'll go ahead and invest that time. Used to spend hours and hours at bars and clubs on smoke breaks, or hanging out in after parties and stuff like that, talking about these subjects. And now I find myself doing it more often on YouTube now in this kind of forum.
It is. It's fun to do. It really honestly is. And, we even asked this guy, hey, if you want to spend a few minutes and let's talk about it. He was literally invited to let's discuss this. Let's talk about this. Let's hear what concerns you may have. And stuff like that. Nope. Didn't want any part of it. According to him, we were the evil bad guy Nazis, and that was it. And it's well, you know what? We asked if he wanted to have an open discussion about it, just talk about it, see what he's worried about. And it's no, it's he would rather be in his zone of just wanting to be nasty, and you just can't talk to people like that. Hello
and welcome. We love Australians. My brother is Australia. As a matter of fact, he just got his Australian citizenship a couple of years ago. Shout out to Bunbury, south of Perth in Western Australia. And welcome to you, young girl, Jerry. Yeah, Mike, I was going to ask, are you seeing a reduction in people coming to sign the petition now that Mitch Sylvester has already gone and dropped the names into the Elections Alberta?
The
hasn't lost
the
momentum,
names,
has it?
no, the names aren't in yet. They're going in on they're heading in on May the, well, technically it should be May the 2nd, even though they said May the 6th, right? But he's wanting to get them in there as soon as possible. So we still have essentially till around April, I believe it's April 27th, as far as I know. That's when, all the signatures have to be in, and getting them ready to be all shipped all at once to Elections Alberta in Edmonton.
Is there a certification process that they'll need to go through after that, or does this just begin a further distillation?
Well, what ends up happening is basically all these names have to be checked out and sorted through and verified to see if these are actual people at actual residences, and that names and phone numbers match and everything like that. Because any mistake whatsoever, and we're trying to be extremely super careful about that, any mistake essentially goes into an algorithm, and then that particular and it may be, say, only on one piece of paper or something like that, but that algorithm has to apply it to every sheet that is in this entire campaign. So it could be who knows, it could be several million signatures or something like that, but it has to be applied to to every sheet, which is very discouraging. So that's why everybody's taking their time to do it exactly the way they want it, and no funny business. And that's why we're asking for 2 pieces of ID, like a driver's license and something with a physical address on it.
Smart.
Yeah. So it could be even them showing us their Amazon account, because Amazon delivers to a physical address, right? So as long as we know that they have a physical address and a phone number, then that pretty much covers all the bases right there. So
that puts you several steps ahead of the average U.S. campaign of the same style, man. So salute for that. Good job. Good on you.
It is. And Sassy, hello. Sylvia, hello. And young girl Sherry, hello. And they signed it, they dated. There's a little space in there where they check it off that they that they know, that they understand about what this is all about, essentially. And so Elections Alberta may or may not call them to verify.
They go to the store.
And that's pretty much it. So and then October, around the middle of October, it goes to elections, and we definitely know, because it's already kind of starting to happen, that the Liberals and the NDP, which is the New Democratic Party, they're basically communists, will now do everything humanly possible to essentially cheat, squash this, and make sure it doesn't happen. So, but
there are examples. The conversation has been had for years and years, as long as I've had any interest in politics whatsoever. Not just gerrymandering, but I mean in petitions. And I should address petitions in particular. And it's only been in the last month or two that there have been some street YouTube journalists that have gone out, specifically in California, and found people signing up homeless folks. And worse than perhaps worse than that, actually getting those people to sign up by offering them things like, here's some cigarettes, or here's $5, here's a $10 bill.
Yeah.
And the way that system works in California, they don't go back and verify any of those things. And so you have these things that will be added midterm. That's what the big push has been there, apparently. Though I'm not trying to speak at an expert level whatsoever. That's how they're getting some of those things to even be introduced, the ballot initiatives to be introduced for midterm.
Yep.
And that just blows my mind. You know, there's a sanctity. I was going to say, you know, there's something sacred, but it's more a sanctity of your vote, a vote, the system of votes, how all of those things have been constructed for us to participate within the bounds of. So when I see or hear about a grassroots organization or movement like yours that's going about it in all the right ways, again, man, I don't know. I'm not trying to swing off your dick for too long on this, but, you know, good job.
No, go ahead, swing away.
I don't sanction either one of those things.
This is an after-hours chat, Spike.
Yeah, no, that's
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, Ron Wayne official got a run. Great show. Well, thank you for being here around the bonfire. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
But no,
my channel
it's
is sassy. Absolutely.
Yes. No, because Elections Alberta has put so many
thank you.
rules to this that it seems like there are certain elements within the government, even though we do have a standing conservative, you know, provincial government. It seems like there are some elements within it that are trying to make this as hard as possible, right? So it's like,
sure.
Okay, these are the rules, and we're gonna stick with them, and we're just gonna essentially win by being extremely honest. So
the best
Well,
thing,
I
man.
I
The
think
best
so.
thing.
And
yeah, in a roundabout kind of way, you know what I mean.
John Holmes says, "Hold my beer."
Yep.
I'm not sure if people realize just how bad it's going to be for Canada without Alberta paying the way for everything. I don't know if they just understand just how much Alberta contributes to Canada overall. Now, it's true, Ontario has a bigger economy and Quebec has a bigger economy than Alberta, but Alberta contributes a whole lot to Canada.
Yeah.
And
Financially,
it's
yeah.
I think it's gonna, our currency is gonna drop. Surely investment will flood into Alberta.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a whole lot of conservative leaning, freedom loving, libertarian people wanting to get into Alberta. And we're Albertans are going to have to decide who can come in and who can't. And they're going to have the pick of the litter, I think.
Yeah, pretty much, because that's the other thing about this when it goes to vote in October, because there are other additional questions being put on a ballot besides the, you know, should we, you know, nick out of here from Canada, right? And one of them is about immigration.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think I see what's going on with Danielle Smith by adding all these other questions. You know, should natural citizens of Alberta have essentially first pick at jobs, or, you know, more priority than, you know, some finance sucking illegal immigrant to medical care and stuff like that. You know, it's not a racist question. It's just that what any country should be doing first is looking after their own citizens first before any other handout person that comes along, right?
Facts.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
We
take
used to
take
have.
care of your citizens first, and then if you can help anybody else, help them out.
And we had a great immigration system when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s. Our neighbors came here. Our neighbors growing up were Vietnamese, and
Yep.
they fled Vietnam in the early 70s, but they moved here and they took on Canadian values. They
Yeah.
joined the local sports teams. They had an ice rink. They had an ice rink in their backyard that made our ice rink look pathetic, and we're Canadian, for fuck's sake. But their
Yeah.
ice rink was amazing. They participated in all the sports. Now, the three boys, the two engineers, and a medical doctor.
Yep.
I mean, they contributed. They became Canadian. They went to all the local activities. They blended in. If you go in their house, it's still Vietnamese cooking and so forth like that. But they joined and became part of Canada, and they were the type of people that he was an engineer. He worked at the nuclear friggin' power plant. That's the kind of
Oh,
guys
yeah,
we
yeah.
want to bring in to Canada. And
Exactly.
they were immigrants, yes, but they contributed to Canada far more than they ever took, and they were happy to be here. They were so happy to be Canadian. Still, I'm still
Yeah.
friends with them to this day.
There you go.
See, I live in a part of the United States where the initial waves of immigration, the second wave of immigration, not the colonial version, but after that, if it wasn't for it, the part of the country that I live in wouldn't have been settled as it was. And I'm not going to get into manifest destiny at all on this point, but as a person born at the tail end of the 60s, I was able to see the benefit of the generations that had followed those pioneers. And if I benchmark, if I notch it against the difference in communities after World War II in my part of the country, you saw people not only, it wasn't only the embracing of American ideals, but it was by Canadian Spider-Man's example, how sometimes their versions were even better than the people who were not immigrants or were not first generation immigrants at a minimum. And I think I saw that begin to fall apart when I kind of clocked it through the Catholic communities in metropolitan Omaha. There was this, kind of a comfortable or a neighborly sort of competition between parishes for their ethnic parish festivals. And that was, to me, the best example of a melting pot. It was that I could go to these festivals, I could experience the food, I could experience the different in clothing or to a lesser degree language. But just the fact that I was able to visit those, knowing that it wasn't that I was a visitor. We were all part of the American, I hate saying it, but the American experiment.
Yeah.
And people respect, the respect that people had for those traditions continued in a way that didn't make things as sectarian as it might sound. And the change, the slow and soft changes, I did not see them. I did not recognize them because my ideals I was still focusing on that horizon. I was still seeing the benefit of all of these things. And really, I don't know which generation to peg it on. I don't know what part of what news cycle or where it is that I should have been given my short, sharp shock into reality, but I didn't receive it. And so when I would hear people bemoaning these things, it's like, oh, come on, man. That's either part of your own personal experience and you just aren't, as diverse enough in your experiences to understand there's a difference, or you're that stodgy or stuck in the mud or whatever issues it is that you have as a person. But I've come so much farther around to being able to understand that now. And I also and I'll pass the mic back to one of you guys with this, I was one of those guys who was against that kind of thing when I was younger. And I went through that kind of conservative shift that many of us do sometime in I was later to discover it than some others. But I don't frown on everything I thought or did when I was younger, but I do when it's other people now. So I kind of feel like I'm turning into the old fart version of that liberal, very left-leaning person that I once was.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think
Hey,
there
Rod?
comes a point, because I was kind of like the same as you when I was younger, that you kind of tend to vote liberal, so to speak, because everything sounds good, right? It tickles the ears, so to speak. And then yeah, it's just something about it just I don't know, you sort of kind of wake up when you realize that, hey, not everything that they're saying is happening, or it's coming to pass, or not everything is as good as they said it was going to be. And once you kind of discover that, it's like, wow, you guys are liars. So, and then it just seems like you just kind of gain a little bit of common sense, like wow, politicians lie to you. Well, maybe not as naive.
Lie.
Yeah, maybe it's not as naive as that, but it's like, maybe I'll
Is
start
that a
listening
kitty?
to. It is a kitty
Yep,
kitty.
that's Buster Cat.
That's a kitty
But
kitty.
But I think you start listening to the other side, and it's like, okay, well, let's see what these guys have to deliver. And it's like,
Hi, Buster.
after a while, you just start listening to the party more that actually delivers on what they say they're going to do, or just see how much better it is after a certain party has had a try, basically.
Cat, you need to shed more.
Hello and welcome, Rod Thunderheart. We're just having
Hey.
a little impromptu. Thought I had a little bit of wood left over, and I thought I'd burn it and turn on the camera. And why not?
Hey, right on. Yeah,
It's-
wish
I
I'd
don't know,
noticed
Rod-
earlier. But
Wait, where you live, do you see a lot? I mean, around here, I don't see it because we're in the countryside very much. But Vancouver and Kelowna, you do see it a lot. Do you see
What?
immigration much where you are, Rod? And what country are they coming from mostly in your area?
See, I think I told you this, and didn't you see the Russo-Ukrainian church? At least I thought you had when you were coming out to my place that one time.
Oh yeah, yes, that's right.
Yeah, see, where I live is predominantly Ukrainian and Swedish Norwegian. So you might say there's I'll say this. I've kind of in a little bit of a little bit of distaste. I just turned my back on the town I grew up in. It was less of disgust at first, but then like at this point now I'm kind of like, okay, I'm past that. I'm so I found a lot of my old high school friends, or people that I knew in high school on Facebook, and we I got along. And then the other thing too is, I'll say this too. I remember back in, when was it? I think it was even as early as late as '93. Okay, maybe actually no, maybe 2003. That sounds more like it. But I ran into my high school bully, and I was in the bar that actually my brother was radio not radio announcing, sorry, DJing. And anyway, he straight up apologized to me for the way he treated me in high school, not just in high school but school. And he even straight up told me, he said that he was also really sorry. And I was just, first of all, flabbergasted to hear that from him. Number one, just simply because you're talking to your bully, and like, this is like somebody who you just basically walked on tiptoes around him, because like you're always worried about getting punched out, and it's like, it's funny too, because like I took up psychology a little and like read some psychology books on psychology, and then and it's just, he could be sitting there pounding me, and then I'd be like, I know why you're doing this, and while I can let it go, but at the same time, I mean, that doesn't do you any good when he's already like, but anyway, but like getting back to no, but like, and like, it's like, oh man, like, dude, I've actually, I mean, I'm kind of pretty much forgiven him from way back then. I mean, like, and his eyes, just like the relief in his face was just, and it was just really cool to break bread with him, like years later, and like for him to even realize that he was like, it's because I didn't have a father, I know, and then as a result, I didn't have a male figure in my life to be able to tell me to like stop doing that, and like I was still just flabbergasted. Holy crap, and he just looked at everything, his life, and he realized where he'd gone wrong. And then, of course, he went to jail for a few years, and he only just got out again. But I admire him for at least realizing where he'd gone wrong, even if he did go to jail for several years after that. But as far as immigrants and everything around here, around the time that I was growing up, but back, I mean, I can't speak for how many around now, because now I see like black folks around here and all that. So I'm just kind of like, wow, I don't know what to say. Yeah.
There's some Mexicans. We have quite a few Mexicans around the Okanagan in British Columbia because, well, we have fruit orchards. And if there's one thing Mexicans know is how to manage fruit orchards, it seems, apparently.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I want to share an anecdote from a lunch that I had with my father yesterday. I don't get to visit him very often, but was able to have lunch with him yesterday because I had an appointment that was nearby where he lives. And we went to an Asian buffet. That's where he wanted to take me for lunch. I was like, rock, I haven't been to one of those in a while. And my dad and I are both pretty hefty guys. So, being at a buffet and having a good time is something we're used to. And I observed to him my surprise at the percentage of Latino diners that there were there. And because this was in a suburb that is pretty white, pretty well-to-do kind of thing. Restaurants will transcend those lines, I understand. But we were there for a couple of hours. And at one point, and this is an hour after I had made that observation to my father, a Latino man came over to my table. I came over to the table. Dad was up getting more food. He said, there are a lot of Mexicans in here. I have no idea why he singled me out. He said, I was born here in the States. I'm like, right on. He's like, I just kind of don't get it. And so he and I talked, and my father was gone for a little while. The guy was still standing there talking to me about this and making these further observations. I found out that he was a vet. I found out what neighborhood he lived in the city, and he offered an anecdote about some white guys. Like he offered me a story of when he became cool with white dudes. and I'm Caucasian, so I felt comforted by that. But what an odd turn that was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You white guys aren't as bad as I thought you were.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's awesome. I love it.
I'd like to read this by Sashi, our good friend Sashi in the chat, all the way on the other side of the planet.
I brought this up actually last time.
Sashi.
Yeah. He says,
"Hey, Sashi, you probably weren't there when I brought that up. Well, mind you, I brought that up at the top of the program, but but I'll read it out if you want.
The law in Germany regarding dudes between the ages of 18 and 45 now needing permission to leave the country for more than 3 months.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I have two statements on. First of all, the kids today, and I emphasize the kids today, also in the same way that. Do you remember in one of the cooler Simpson episodes where Grandpa Simpson was everybody basically looked at him as just like a complete old bastard, and he's just beyond his years, and little dementia and all that, and then all of a sudden, like Bart I forget, for whatever reason they managed to get Bart to hang out with him for a little bit. Then all of a sudden he discovered that Grandpa was really goddamn cool, and he was he was a war hero, and then he like the something or other fish. Anyway, and then Bart helps him along the way to find the path to this treasure. And then they do find the treasure. They do actually find the treasure. Unfortunately, it turned out to be spoils of war from Germany, and then they even brought the grandson of the person that the spoils of war were taken from, and then it couldn't have been more obvious, or put more like the way kids are today, where the kids just dressed up to the nines, sunglasses, just put it in the trunk, and they were basically just trying, sir, we apologize. Our country apologizes for what we have inflicted on your country, and just put it in the trunk. Let's go. Hey, mind the 6 CD changer, man, that's kids today, but that's the thing, is that kids today
say a CD changer in the trunk.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Dude, this is it's the 80s, 90s. So anyway, getting back to that's kids today. Because they have no inkling of what it was like when living through a war, and Generation Z kids today, and that's what because now that it's announced, you can't leave the country for more than 3 months, and you may be conscripted for war, and the kids are just in shock, and it's just
great. No, not kids, not kids, not the girls, not the strong independent women. Read that. That's just the men. How
no,
sexist.
that is no. 18 years old, you're still a kid.
No, but it's just the dudes. It's not the women.
That's my point. No. We brought this up before. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that just the kids, and by kids I'm talking young men. No, it's not the women.
45 is not exactly young.
45? No.
Well, here's the thing, from what I heard, because I got extended family in Germany, cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Are they Nazis? They're Nazis, aren't they?
No. Yeah, they are not. No. Anyway, no. What it is the government. First of all, the government is afraid. One of the things that they actually heard in Germany is that they don't want people staying in other countries longer than 3 months for fear of them being indoctrinated by right-wing views, that if they should come across them in other countries, and bringing those views back to Germany.
Who said that?
Wing is
the
okay?
German government.
Wow.
Have they?
Yeah.
Really? I'd like to see a source on that, but because my personal thing on it was
my cousins in Germany.
Okay, because what I'd heard about that from it's funny you mention that, because I do have 2 friends I've met in Cuba, actually. Remember Cuba, and they again, you had to drag out the tired Nazi, didn't you? There, Canadian Spider-Man. Because no, that's one thing that they were absolutely disgusted with, the fact that they're happy. They visited first time they went to go visit America. They're like, hey, right on. Hey, we're in America. Yeah, right on. Even because they were in a heavy metal band, and then it was wonderful. It was a wonderful trip, but then it was sullied by some American who suddenly decided that he felt obligated to bring up the World War II and like not and the whole Nazis thing, and like they were just kind of like, but what did we have to do with it? And they're like, well, nothing, but you're German, and just kind of like
What?
I was just absolutely, yeah, seriously, I was disgusted for them on that, and like, but like no, like the Americans just razzed them about being, like they're Nazis, like you're German, and I'm just like, what? Have you not grown up enough to realize that, World War II is like 80, well, okay, at this one, well, 75 years ago, when the time when it happened, when we, and, and like,
it's a lifetime. That's a lifetime.
yeah, the point is like, do you really feel that
And 5 generations.
ignorant and like low foreheaded enough and knuckle dragging enough to sit there and then like, oh yeah, Nazis, yeah, German, yeah, you guys, and it's like, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, but you got to understand one thing is that even within their own country, right? Even by their own government, even today, they how should I put it? It's like this self-imposing guilt of what they did in World War II that they're still not proud of.
The
And
culture.
I
that's-
saw that in Japan.
Exactly. It's the
When I
culture
lived in
guilt,
Japan,
right?
that was very evident, Mike, just under the surface,
Yep,
that the
Mhm.
Japanese still felt guilty about their
Yep.
actions in World War II.
exactly.
Very much so. And
and
it wasn't
and
obvious, but it was under the surface. It was always,
it is.
I always felt that.
It's
No, they
always
did
there.
too, but I mean that was kind of my point.
And the thing is that and this is what has led to the whole mess currently in Europe right now with bringing all these quote unquote immigrants into the country. That is, and what I'm talking about is, military aged, Muslim men, basically, that is like literally wrecking the country because the government has like essentially shamed the German people that if you don't do this, then, denying people some sort of, hope or freedom or, is no different than what we did to, to the Jews in World War II. Right. And it's basically these corrupt politicians, especially in Germany, that have ruined the country now, because now in Europe, they're finding out that, hey, maybe this wasn't a good idea that we let all these military aged Muslim men into Europe. We need to deport them now and basically get rid of them because they're wrecking the entire fabric of Europe. And that's what they're learning and doing right now.
If they were all
I'm going to touch
engineers,
back on the
not-
German thing for just a second. I think
No.
that, and a lot of a lot of the European countries do this. They're cultures of memory and remembrance. So you're going to have memorials all over the place. You're going to have museums, and the inclusion of things like educational programs. Removing as wholesale as they could all the symbolic reminders. Making things like. If you downplay the Holocaust, using a Nazi salute, insignias, graphics, any of that stuff, it's illegal. It's not just frowned upon like it would be here. Same kind of thing we run into with the Confederate flag, but it's illegal. It seems like such a heavy-handed kind of thing. So I guess I'm not all that surprised that German youth, because we're like I kind of under my breath said 5 generations, hence from World War II, at least a solid 4 of them. It's kind of no wonder that some of them have so easily forgotten while even being reminded on the daily culturally that it exists.
Exactly.
And so when you run into a couple of them on a beach in Cuba, that's like they are really far removed from like the understanding beyond the cultural impact, the impact that it had.
Yeah. See, because
I wouldn't say that because they were actually. They were drastically aware. I mean, and as a matter of fact, they were also. Also because they were Generation Xers. They weren't Generation Zers. I'm just
our age.
Well,
yeah. They were pretty much our age. So as opposed to the German youth that exists today is what I'm saying.
See, here's the problem that we face in North America. Okay, that has essentially happened around the world, and most of the world has already learned this. Especially about communism and socialism and stuff like that. Is that, for example, Europe has obviously a very, very deep history, a lot of history that has gone through it. I mean, if we take from like, let's say, the Roman Empire onward, for example, the last 2,000 years, okay, battles between countries, wars between countries, the rise of the Catholic Church controlling Europe, then the Reformation, and the Renaissance, and then you have World War One and World War Two. Little communist movements here and there and whatnot. Some of them finding out, hey, this is a good thing. Hey, this is a very bad thing. Let's not do this or let's not do that. And Europe has been at each other's throat for a very, very, very long time. And there's a lot of history to actually prove that. Us in North America, let's say since, America became a nation, and even before that, before they became a nation and they were just the colonies of Britain, North America has never gone through something like that. I mean, except for, maybe the Civil War, but, that wasn't as long as, say, the entirety of the history of Europe, for example, right? We've never gone through that kind of hardship. We're still relatively new on the game board. And so with what is happening now, this is our own fault of believing that we are okay in the decadence that we've built up for ourselves. And we become fat and lazy in some retrospect here and there. Exactly. We haven't really had to fight for it. And we haven't had our own, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reformation.
Our own reformation of culture, so to speak. Nothing super serious that essentially, radically changed the way we, maybe do things or whatnot. It's always been a lot of grit and a lot of hard work, but we haven't gone through a lot of pain and anguish that Europe has endured for the last 2,000. Yeah, exactly. Right. And I think that's where, culturally speaking, we've been asleep at the wheel because it's infiltrated a little bit here and there. And then when they've gained enough ground, they've taken big steps. And now that's what we're seeing here, especially in Canada, that they're taking bigger and bigger steps, and it's radicalizing more and more people. And I mean, let's look at it this way. And I'm sorry to drone on, I really am. But like what we've seen this past week is like more conservatives crossing the floor over to the liberal side. It's becoming a very radicalized, very dangerous movement here in Canada under what I like to call the Liberal Socialist Party, because it is becoming that. Gun grabs happening, freedom of speech for, whatever was anyways in Canada is happening.
Oh, yeah. They're coming after me. They're definitely
they're coming after us, dude. Man.
Rod Thunderheart. Sorry, Mike.
Sorry. Go ahead. Like being able to phone tap and social media tap everything that you've posted. Wow. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Rod if he wouldn't mind reading this from our good friend Old Man Bird in the chat.
Do it, Rod.
Old Man Bird. Old Man Bird says, a lot of Germans live here. That was 80 years ago. Now we listen to Scorpions. I remember the French still greatly hated the Germans when I'm reasonably certain he meant to say whenever, or when people was okay. We're over there.
He's referring to his own personal travel there. It's when I was over there, 1989 to 91, that he recognized the French not digging
Oh,
up the
when
German.
blue. Okay, I had to sit there and like when the blue was that blue or okay, that's I. When I was over there. All right,
Yes.
got it.
Old man Bird Rod has traveled fair. When I was hanging out with him in Texas, he was telling me about his travels. He's been all over the place. Yeah, what an interesting life he's led. But I could see that. I don't blame the French for being a little upset with the Germans. Still, I
No.
mean,
They
know.
surrendered though.
I think
Aren't
everybody.
from
I think
Germany?
everybody has a good reason to be unhappy with the French. However,
Well, that's
True.
true. That's true. Scorpions, they're not from Germany, are they?
Yeah,
absolutely, they are.
Rock you like a hurricane? The Scorpions?
Yeah.
That's them.
Scorpions, man.
They're from Germany. No kidding.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow. They were.
You didn't
when I
know
was
that? Holy crap, man!
No, I did not
Their
know
lead
that.
singer's name is Klaus. Come on,
I did not know that.
I mean,
No.
Klaus Mann.
Duhas
Yeah.
men.
Really?
No.
Duhas
cool.
men.
That is so awesome. No, I was in elementary school. I didn't know. Yeah, and good night, Sylvia, to you. Yeah, I've got an early day tomorrow. I'm doing roofing. I'm actually doing paid work tomorrow. We got to start at 6 in the bloody morning.
Yay.
Which, I remember why I don't work now. Waking up.
Work?
So,
What
yeah,
is that? Well, what's work? What is that? What do you do? What's?
Exactly.
Well,
Haven't done it.
don't feel bad.
Fuck you, retired Rod.
I have to get up at 5:15 in the morning, man. So don't feel that bad.
That's just silly, right?
Well, yeah, I gotta
doing?
drive into Calgary for an hour and
Then I got to
sit
go
around.
climb up. Yeah, we're driving to Vernon for an hour, but then I got to go climb up on a roof at 7 in the goddamn morning.
Yeah,
That's
no,
ridiculous.
that's too cold, man.
So, I hope I'm getting. I didn't ask how much I'm getting paid. He said it was good money. So it better be. Holy shit!
Good money is like close to $30 an hour.
I suspect it will be.
Yeah,
more than that.
Mid-20s is like, it's okay money.
It's hard to find people that want to do roofing. You got to pay them at least 30 an hour. It's not. I've done it since 1988. It is not easy work.
Bitching work. It is. It's hard ass work, man.
Yeah. DJ, didn't you say you did roofing at one point, or am I mistaken?
Not roofing specifically. I mean, I've done some roofing projects, but not where I was paid, just helping out friends. No, I had a company that was a landscaping business for a while.
You are too good.
Oh, being up on.
Well, come on, man. You
I
know
know
what it's like when you throw in on your neighbor's project or whatever. Raise a barn, raise a roof, fix one, whatever it is. Sometimes that's what it takes. And if you don't have the friends that'll show up for that shit, do you really have friends?
That is true English.
You gotta bury a body, right, Rod?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, if I gotta bury a body, I'm calling Rod.
Yep. We all know that BC and Alberta has plenty of woods.
There's so much woods between us. There's 6 hours of woods. Yeah,
if we're lucky, a Sasquatch will come along and take the body away even more.
I've spent all my life in the woods and I have never seen a Sasquatch. How about you, Rod?
Nope. No, I have not.
No.
Well, there's dozens, hundreds. There's millions of people who could say the same thing. Hundreds of thousands.
Apparently, near Nordig here in Alberta, which is like near Banff.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's. I don't want to say it's a hot spot, but apparently there's been reports around there.
Ooh.
So yeah. So
Banff.
Rod, Spidey, maybe one weekend we should get together and do some Sasquatch hunting.
I would. Oh man, would
Sure.
that be awesome?
By all means.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we bring enough cameras and tripods to make sure we can actually get a steady cam.
I've seen Bigfoot twice.
No, really?
Yes.
What?
1976. The Secret of Bigfoot Parts 1 and 2 on the $6 Million Man.
Oh, damn you. Jeez.
And Colonel Steve.
Yeah, that's
Austin.
right. He called. Yeah, you Merkins called him Bigfoot. Yeah, we prefer to call him Sasquatch.
It's a macho show. A macho
I remember
show.
that, man. The $1 Million Man. He had action figures and everything. It was
Oh, dude, yeah.
$6
and
million
Oscar
man,
Gold.
not 1, 6.
Yeah. Remember inflation.
I had the Steve Austin figure. Came in a capsule. Yeah.
Yes. It was
And,
so
and didn't
cool, man.
Oscar Goldman have a briefcase that handcuffed to his hand or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. No, $6 million. You know what? There are people probably walking around today with $6 million worth of operations on them medically. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
Okay.
these days.
Wait, if you've got an artificial leg or something, holy shit, for sure.
Did I show you this, Spidey?
A book.
Let's see. I'll make you big. Northern Bushcraft. You talked about it. I don't think you showed it to me. That's awesome. That is fantastic. Hell yeah, I love bushcraft. Absolutely, Rod.
Yeah, there's drawings and everything.
Is it
Nice.
made for dummies? Hopefully.
No,
Oh.
I'll still give it to you though if you want it.
I'm gonna need a lot of pictures.
Well, it's
No, I love bushcraft.
if you can read,
Absolutely.
you know. I mean, like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I can read
Well, then
a
there you
couple
go.
of language. Yeah,
You
badly.
should get the Les Stroud book too.
I
Is it
like
what?
that guy.
Survivor Man. Yeah, Les Stroud.
Less
Yeah,
No,
Stroud.
you're wrong. No,
What do you mean I'm
this
wrong?
is from. No, I'm not saying you're wrong about. I mean, okay, yeah, that guy probably hasn't. No, the book is by Mors L. Kachonsky.
Oh no, I know that. Yeah, no, I'm just saying he should also check out the
I've
book.
never
by
heard-
Les Stroud.
Never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Okay.
Because-
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Survivor Man because it comes
I
with
misinterpreted.
Yeah, because I think it comes with a CD at the back of the book or CD-ROM of some sort. You know, I can't quite remember. I gave it to my oldest daughter for her birthday years ago because she really liked the show. It was
Nice.
like really cool. Yeah. Anyway,
That was a show. I did lag a little. Well, that's okay. And I'm running out of juice here. Yeah, we've been streaming.
And we
for
should
2
probably let you
hours.
go. Yeah.
I gotta get up early and go on a damn roof, man. I don't know why I agreed to do that. I guess it's something about money and needing food and
Dude, it's only going to be like one. Hey, don't worry about it, man. It'll be like one day before you even
hours.
know it.
I know it'll probably be 10 hours, but that's okay. It's supposed to be nice.
Hey,
It's not going to rain, so that's good.
it's not
Don't
too
forget,
bad.
man. I'm going to be getting back to my 3 a.m. Runs. Now, of course, they're just going to be up the stairs. I don't know, but like the weather's getting nice enough. I might actually wind up to graduate to running on the roads.
Nice.
I'm gonna make Greta Thunberg cry and kill a tree tomorrow.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you killing trees tomorrow, Mike?
I'm killing trees, or at least pruning them, or shaping them, or
Oh, okay.
Making toilet paper.
or making toilet paper. Yeah. And then soon enough, it'll be to some easier work doing stump grinding. So that's even better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Canadian Cat says I'm going to bed too. I have to go to the hospital tomorrow for Boa.
Oh.
She broke her leg when she went to Florida. Oh
Dang.
no. Well, that's no, that's too
Bummer.
bad.
Ooh, hope she didn't do it diving.
No. Anyway, DJ, thank you so much for being here tonight with me.
Yeah, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Right on. I was glad to be here. It's nice to be able to be on your panel. And I want to give, based on the tail end of the chat here, I want to throw out a shout to my YouTube friend, the Virginia Bushcrafter. Can't drop a link, but check him out. Decent stuff and a really super cool guy. And everybody, be safe, have fun, take care of yourself and your crew. Rock. Thanks, Spidey.
Yeah, you too, brother. Alrighty.
Mike, thanks for being here. Are you drawing huge circles on Tuesday?
You know what? I should probably make up for it for not doing the Sunday show on for huge, totally massive circles. I didn't do it because I was saving Alberta for freedom.
But
Yeah, I should
Tuesday
probably,
you'll do something, right?
yeah, but because
Sunday.
titillating Tuesdays and huge circles kind of go
Yeah.
hand in hand when you think about
Dude,
it. Yeah,
titillating, anything with titillating in the title, you have my attention.
exactly. I thought I did. So because I care. And
Exactly. And Rod, Rod, I appreciate you coming on, man. Are you going training tomorrow, or what are you?
Well, I'm just going to be pumping iron and then just burying myself in my book. I was actually supposed to have a Zoom meeting with the script doctor, but then he canceled and had he got called on to set. So, but he said, but that's fine. I got more. It gives me more time to write and and work on the ideas that we have worked out. So.
Well, excellent. Yeah, well, it's until because when summer comes and it's nice out, you aren't going to be wanting to stay inside writing. So do it now. Absolutely.
totally.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, thanks, chat, for being here. Appreciate you being here. We just had a little bonfire tonight, little chat, and thank you to the Comic Relief Crusader, to DJ Playnights, and to Rod Thunderheart. And, we're gonna end the stream because I got to get up early tomorrow. So have a good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Later.